everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Ravenloft Misfits, Misfit Monday. I'm Johnny. I'm the DM. I'm gonna be telling you all about our cool stream.
Are you?
Jeez,
Are you?
my head, ADHD, I swear, like I'm telling you, and then my mind just whoop went to something else.
What were you thinking about? What were you thinking about, Johnny?
Honestly, nothing. That's the thing, is that I
Mhm.
wasn't even thinking about anything. It just whoop. Anyways,
Stealing my jokes.
Yeah, somebody's gotta do it.
List of cast names and socials is what I was supposed to say, is in the chat or the episode description. We stream Ravenloft Misfits each Monday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Please make sure to follow us and subscribe to our channel, participate in our chat. If you're watching the recording, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Find all of the links to our social media and our Discord. You can help us grow. And if you're listening to the podcast, thank you as well. We have reached past 11,000 to 11,145 as of now. We have like something crazy, like 180, 186 followers on Spotify. So thank you, everybody.
What?
That's fucking cool.
Spotify. I hope
also,
we're making your work days faster.
I hope so too, because we specifically release it on Friday so that you can have it Friday morning specifically, so that you can get through the day, hopefully. But while you're listening, take some time to give us a rating of 5 stars, because that actually is seeming to help, because now we're at like I think 18 or 19 pretty good reviews. We have like 4.8 on Spotify right now. I haven't checked all the other ones, but 4.8 on Spotify is fucking amazing. So keep at it, all y'all great supporters. Tell your friends to come at us and join the stuff. Zack,
tell everyone you know, and also go to support the supporters that support us, because we are supported by Roll20, and if you go support Roll20, they'll support us more, so that we can support you supporting us.
Sure.
There it is.
So go to roll20.net. It's a website where you can play D&D online. It's just that simple. You play TTRPGs with all your friends on the internet with the magic of technology. Roll20.net. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us, Roll20. Everything you see here on the stream, every game we play on this stream, play it on Roll20. Thank you.
All of it. All the time. Everywhere.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, I can't go to sleep without Roll20. I'm just saying.
You know what else I can't go to sleep without is music. You know what else is really good?
Whoa.
What a
Jesus shit. Sirenscape. That's what I meant to say.
For soothing Johnny to sleep every night.
Woo. I can't get enough of the stormy nights or the fiery hellscapes that are provided by Sirenscape, and none other does it better. So if you'd like to try out Sirenscape and get the triple S, as we always call it here, the Super Siren subscriber, you would be helping us out by following the link in our What the fuck? Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Yeah,
what the fuck was that? That was so weird.
But we pretend like it doesn't happen. You gotta keep the show
I didn't hear
rolling.
anything. Of course, this
isn't a bit. I didn't hear anything.
Oh shit! It was like me, but like echoey, like I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, it was there.
You probably wouldn't even hear it in post.
That was a special, exclusive Ravenloft Misfits Sirenscape sound effect.
Hold on. I think we gotta fix Johnny's programming. 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, we're gonna reboot him.
We're gonna.
Isn't rebooting just taking a hammer to him?
Sirenscape. No, if you check out Sirenscape by following the link in our chat or the episode description, it'll help us out by helping us with all of our production costs and stuff like that. And you can too fall asleep to rainy storms and
that is nice. That is
fiery hellscapes.
Oh, that one?
Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, fiery hellscapes, especially when you put the screams of people in there.
Okay, maybe not that one. I'm not listening to that. I'll listen to the rain. Or, you know what? Fall asleep to this podcast. I do. Everybody does it. They listen to streams, YouTube videos, D&D games.
I gotta say, another cool thing about Spotify for the podcast is that you can upload videos for the podcast too. So like everybody that listens to it, I think it's like they added it in like episode 30 or something like that.
Yeah,
and then on we've had videos.
Never used
Anyways,
that feature.
That's pretty cool. But
that is
just
cool.
throwing
It's
that
an
out there.
option.
So if you want to listen to it on Spotify, you could also watch. So that's the thing.
Or
Anyways,
fall asleep to it,
yeah.
but leave it on.
Yeah.
Autoplay.
Especially fall asleep to that fun of the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great
Right.
time.
How could you?
Wait,
what
how could
happened
you
that
sleep through that
episode?
one?
I don't even know.
What did happen?
Nothing
Nothing.
much.
Nothing.
Nothing
It was
much.
a bit of an
Nothing.
out-of-body
It was like
experience for me. a
Nothing
little
bad.
Bit,
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Everything's totally
Tra-la-la.
fine. You know, as
So-
a tiefling, I kind of the sounds of people screaming in hellfire is quite calming.
It's quite appealing.
Yeah.
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 I'll send you a link to the one that I listened to.
Mhm.
But with
I'm here
that,
for it.
let's do a recap.
Oh, so you are going to tell us what happened?
I am going to tell you what happened because last episode, the Misfits rushed toward the central stairway of the Journey branch, hoping to catch Elvir before he entered the False Hydra's lair. Arxes, you successfully hit Elvir and sent him flying down the stairs with an Eldritch Blast. However, as Elvir came to and began running towards each of you, you saw him being picked up and taken within the lair by something that you couldn't see at the moment. However, you threw in earplugs and you were able to see the razor-sharp teeth and black, inky eyes of the False Hydra as it was pulling him into one of the holes on the side of the trunk of the tree. You then followed the False Hydra into its lair, and quite a lot happened. Without going into a complete play-by-play, Vaughn, you cut off something after getting swallowed by it. Arxes, you cut off a head after just running in there and doing what you do. Then Beatrice came in trying to tell everybody not to cut off heads and to use fire, but nobody heard it. Then most of the heads retreated. You jumped back into the holes trying to kill it. Vaughn, you took crazy amount of damage, crazy amount of attacks, somehow survived that, but in the end, unfortunately, Vaughn had been ripped apart by not only the False Hydra's body pincer, but another head. After Arxes was able to deal the final blow against the False Hydra, you all gathered around Vaughn as Beatrice casted Revivify through a spell scroll and through... Oh my god, I'm blanking. Cosette, thank you. I knew it was a C name, I just couldn't remember for... God. Through Cosette, which is fucking awesome, by the way. That's so cool.
I love that effect.
But you were able to then revive Vaughn, bringing them back to life. And after hearing their breath come back into their body, you remember the last final statements said between the two of you of
Stop.
Vaughn asking if they could be friends again, and Beatrice responding, it was never a consideration and that they were always a friend. So,
Isn't that sweet?
as you all gather around Vaughn, the fires recently put out. Filling up the top of the room is a layer of smoke, and you look around to see countless bones and bodies and blood of people and creatures fallen to the False Hydra. As you stand there, what would you all like to do?
I am going to cast Prayer of Healing.
Prayer of Healing. Okay.
I'll go ahead and jump down. Because I'm still in the ceiling.
Oh, right. Of course.
See, does that rule it for me?
Go ahead and do a acrobatics check since you're not saving, you're attempting.
Still probably not going to be very good.
This is going to be the first damage you're going to take this combat.
Right.
15.
15? Good. You don't take any damage as you just land on your feet.
My dress
And-
kind of like poofs out
Yeah.
and I float down a little bit.
Your hat gets a
Yeah.
little messed up, but you readjust it pretty quickly after falling.
I guess I can never type it out. I'm just going to roll it's 2d8 plus 5. Nice.
Cool.
13. Everybody gets
Okay.
13 hit points.
That is definitely good. Okay.
And I believe that hits everybody because everybody should be within 30 feet of me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You could situate yourself. So after about 10 minutes, the prayer of healing comes into effect, and you all feel the healing nature of Arxes. And Vaughn, you are no longer at 1 hit point. However,
Yay, that is good.
is there
I'm
anything
also
you would
no
like to
longer
do?
at 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh right, because you
Oh,
went.
yikes.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, that was a rough encounter.
I'm just petting Cosette.
Okay.
Beatrice is kind of staying a little bit away from the group and is going to start investigating around, seeing if there's anything useful in the area, making sure the fire's out.
Okay. Go ahead and do a... Are you doing, like, rummaging through things, or are you just kind of taking a eyeball at everything?
I'm not getting down on, like, in the muck of it. I'm taking
Okay.
my cane and, like, batting. Like, if I see a crate, I'll, like, move it aside and, like, push stuff aside.
Okay. So then go ahead and
Checking
do
the
a
bodies.
perception.
4. Makes sense.
It is dark in here. Very dark, even. There are only, like, a bit of small fires that are still just barely around that illuminate this dark chamber. There's a small bit of bioluminescence from a few flowers that are scattered around this layer. But you don't find anything of note in this area. Only
Alright.
blood, bones, and debris.
Got it. I guess other than that, I think I will do maybe a more thorough check on the bodies. I have Mage Hand, so I can like summon Mage Hand to actually do like some investigations on like the corpses, see if there's anything important on anybody in particular.
Okay, go ahead and do an investigation check as you're kind of going through that. And while Beatrice is doing that, is anybody else doing anything?
I'll go over and like help Vaughn up and kind of
Okay.
dust them off and like wipe off some of the goo and spit and whatever and
Blood. And
blood.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. Is Sorsha okay?
And I'm just gonna full body slam into Vaughn and give them a huge hug.
love
Don't
it.
ever do that to me again. I can't handle that, please.
I don't realize what I did. I was just in the middle of everything.
That was
Kinda
the
like-
worst. I can't lose more friends.
Hug around them. I'm glad you're alive.
Thanks.
Arxes just awkwardly standing by the side, just like,
I was gonna say Arxes is just going to, if there's any like bodies that are like intact, he's going to do his best to like put them in one place and fix them up as best he can so that
Sure.
they don't
I
look,
figured that
know.
you probably are nearby Beatrice at that time then, as Beatrice is kind of looking through the bodies as well and seeing if there's anything of value. Beatrice, unfortunately, it seems like there's not much. You find typical fashion of Moonshade, of, you know, natural clothing and armor and stuff of that nature. You find bags that have been ripped apart and different tools that may have been used at one point, but now are just broken and shattered. It just looks like a full level of debris and fluids.
So I will notice that Beatrice is, looking around and stuff.
Mhm.
Beatrice, are you able to know how they got here? Or how long they've been here?
I'm not an expert in medicine. I could certainly try and see if I could figure something out, but
Well, can I do that? Can I do the medicine check,
Sure.
maybe?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do a medicine check, just kind of looking at these dismembered bodies and things like that. You kind of like get a little grossed out, but
Sure.
taking a look at certain parts of like their skin tone and, bruises that may be on their body, you find that a lot of these range with a 13 you get a range of maybe like a week to some recent time within maybe 3 months ish. But it's not exact, so you're not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It does look like it's been here for longer than the few weeks that you had originally thought. But you're not exactly sure how long.
I sort of standing beside Sorsha. I was trying to see if I could find any sort of signs of rank or any evidence of who these people are. You were here before us. Do you now remember any of these people that you had forgotten?
Yeah, that's actually a solid question.
Now that the creature's dead.
Yeah, do I know?
There are not... I mean, you only got here like a day or two before. And with the False Hydra dying, you don't just automatically get to remember people that have died. So realistically, you had the tail end of what was happening here. You don't really remember anybody that was like, oh, I had forgotten about them. You do remember that there was something odd about where your mother was staying. She was staying with a farmer type person at the Nature's Nook, which is actually on the Swamp Branch. She had talked about him having some weird, like, he had a partner at some point, but he never talked about her, and so she never asked, kind of thing. But now that you've killed the False Hydra and you are able to remember everything, now that's something that you're like, oh, that was weird. That's about it, though.
Yeah. No, I don't recognize any of them, but I haven't been here for very long. But obviously with all the stories that have been told with people I've talked to and the fuck, what was her name? The one doing the pulley by herself.
Yes.
Oh, Kareza. Yeah.
Kareza, yeah. And then Kareza, she obviously there was someone that wasn't there either. So
right. I mean, I guess we'll just have to. I don't know how we get them out of here. Jonny, I actually know that. I know this from Matt Maven. There's a door out of this room, correct?
There is. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, I was about to say, I was going to say after you were done talking, as you all are talking and collecting yourselves here, you see that the door actually opens. From outside, you see, after tensing up from the sudden movement and thinking that it may be another enemy, you see the Mountain Speaker walking in, her face just filled with tears. Her face is hardened with anger, but filled with tears as she walks into the chamber and just stares down the pile of flesh that you had just destroyed, and just walks until you see her arms getting bigger and filling with fur as she turns into this giant bear and just begins mawing at this huge pound of flesh in front of you.
That might have been useful, Arcane.
Roaring, cutting into this flesh, turning to near ribbons as just the power behind each of her swipes. You can see the power behind her. And you just hear this deep rumbling roar as she just pounds her paws back into it, finally breathing until her form slowly turns back into herself. And the roaring turns to sobs. She finally just falls to her knees. They're gone. Everyone I knew. I couldn't do anything. And just fall silent.
I'll rush to her and put my hand on her shoulder.
Okay. You put a hand on her shoulder and she kind of looks over to you. Looks back at this giant monster. puts her hand on yours. Then just stands up, looking to each of you. I have a loss for words. Sorsha. She turns to you, looking at you. This is a testament to your connection with the Fiends. Each day under this monster spell, I found myself not able to find what I needed to do to help these people, and each day I clutched at this amulet, and you see her pull out this necklace, which you see is, it's made of vine, and the bottom part of the necklace has raven's feathers, kind of creating like a, I don't know what to call it, but like a crown, but for the neck part, like it comes out over her chest, and then at the very bottom of it, you see a raven's skull, similar to the ones that you had actually found in the Temple of the Seeker that the priests had worn. But this one you see has a third eye socket on like the forehead spot. And then on the top of the skull you see is a carved eye shape. And she holds onto this, taking it off and then kind of looking at it in her hands and says, each day I looked into these eyeless voids, wondering where I had received this, and each day I would come up with nothing. And now with what you have done, I realized that this was Forest Speaker Grigor's. He had given this to me before he had gone here with the Swamp Speaker to try to kill this beast. And I remember the day that they said that they would be the ones to go down and I would be the one that stays, because they said that if they weren't able to kill it, that there needed to be one person to keep us going. And now all of this is clear in my head. And I feel so much guilt. I just find myself at a loss for words to how thankful I am to you and to each of you for what you did to the people of Moonshade. We are forever in your debts. And turns back to you, Sorsha, and says, if you would, accept this amulet as a thank you. A true symbol of your connection to the Fanes. This raven skull was the Seeker's pet, Shadow. I believe that it would be a boon to your efforts.
It would be an honor to accept this, but I need to preface that my family here, they did an admirable job. They are the true heroes.
Each of you are. And I'm not saying that any of you are any less. I only want to say that this is not mine. This is the Forest Speaker's. Or, in this case, the champion of the Faints.
I'll bow my head and do the salute of the people.
She will, as you're bowing down, place this amulet onto your neck.
Thank you for this honor.
Of course. And thank each of you. I truly, I don't know what we would have done if it weren't for you.
We are just happy we could help and try and save a few lives.
There were 3 when we entered. We could not get to them in time. For that, I'm sorry.
I say this with the utmost emphasis. That was not your fault. The 3 that had gone in here, of course, they will be mourned, like all of the others. But you did so much for our town. I would hate for the 3 that you had no power over to keep you from seeing such a great thing that you did for our town. Without you, it would have been much worse.
Do you know how the creature, now that you remember it, how did it get here? Do you have any more clarity?
No.
No chance it was an attack.
I do remember a long while ago, a few months ago, that people were starting to go missing. But we just overlooked it, just like everyone else. I don't know how it got there. I don't know when it all started. Until it was overwhelming. I don't know. And it seems that it was placed here, which is the furthest away from me, so...
I know your people live in isolation, but do you have enemies that are aware of you and powerful enough to conjure a creature like this? Or...
Well, it is no secret that, and she kind of looks over to Sorsha, there has been bouts between our village and Svarog's, Sorsha's village. There had been bouts, but nothing to this sort. And I have never seen anything like this before. I don't even know where it would have come from.
Do you mind if I just don't get the claws out while I'm working on it, but do you mind if I investigate the body for any evidence?
Please, if you can find anything that would benefit all of us.
All right. I'm going to go through and see if I can find any sort, as she continues talking, see if I can find any sort of like evidence of this thing being enchanted, residual conjuration magic, evidence of like a control thing.
I would like to help Beatrice with that.
Okay, cool.
Be about my best friend.
Maybe investigation. I'd say it's a mix between investigation, medicine, and just, I guess, Arcana could work too.
I'll give the help action.
Thank you. I'll do Arcana at advantage. You've fallen into my trap, Jonny.
You said the one.
You said the one I wanted. A 32.
30-fucking-2. Wow. All right.
Damn.
Well, this is going to be over the span of a few minutes.
Sure. Feel free. The only thing I say,
all are looking through that.
The only thing I say is, like, as Vaughn gets up and comes over to help, I just give like a little note. Are you feeling all right?
I feel significantly better.
Good. Well, we're going to have to get you back to work if we're going to figure out anything about this creature. Can you go over there and just stop picking up those heads, see if we got anything over there?
Of course, I throw one over my shoulder.
Yeah. Just this giant head, just carrying it around all happy. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We get to work.
As you continue looking around, Sabrina just watches each of you in almost like a disbelief, like still in a state of shock that all of this had happened. After all, she did just get slammed with months of memories of people dying and going missing.
Smart.
So it looks like it's taking a toll on her. But she's just staring and kind of blinks out of it, looking towards Sorsha. So, what is next? If you are willing, I wouldn't pull you from anyone, but if you are willing, we could use the help of rebuilding, and if you would like to take the title of Forest Speaker, I'm sure people here would be willing to have you.
I'll look at the group and I will make eye contact with Katya. And like just kind of like send as much love as possible towards her. I think that this is what
She like gives a little shrug and a little smile.
I think this is where I'm meant to be for now. And if you will have me, and I will assume Elvira will stay as well. But it would be an honor to be a part of this village and to help where I can.
The honor is ours to have you here.
Then I accept.
Fantastic. This is great news. Beatrice, fun. As you're looking around the body of this False Hydra, it doesn't seem like there's much evidence as to what might have placed it here, or if it just naturally grew here, or if it tunneled its way here, or what have you. Outside of the fact that where it stood, it's like rooted in there. Like you can see that its feet and like claws and bone have kind of like cracked the wood of this place and created like a small dent almost into the wood chamber. Like the floor made a small dent from its sheer weight, but also from the cracking of the wood. And it seems like it was staying here for quite a while from just the looks of it. Outside of that, it definitely doesn't look normal.
Right.
Or like natural, I mean. It is, I would say with the 32, you can definitely tell that it is definitely an aberration.
Right.
It is alien-like in nature.
With the 32, could I ask a couple extending questions on that?
And I will answer those.
Now, I know I already identified what a false heart. Also, Vaughn, if you have any questions, you are a part of that also.
True.
So I feel like you can ask questions about it too. But we know it's a false hydra. I identified some basics about that creature. Would I know anything about, like, does it start as an egg that could have been brought here that then hatched? Or is it like its only known form is like the adult form? And then on top of that, my other question is like, do aberrations occur in Barovia of this kind? Like, I don't think I've really run into that in this area before. So it doesn't seem like a local.
It doesn't seem like a local. 32, you can definitely surmise that it is probably not from Barovia.
Right.
Barovia is filled with humans and animals and vampires. It is not filled with aberrations or aliens or anything in that type of realm. So, two things. Either it entered Barovia and found its way here, or it was placed here in Barovia.
By someone, right, intentionally.
Right.
I relay that information to Vaughn as we're discussing these things aside. I know you've never left, and I don't know if we know much about this, but thoughts?
How much do I know about aberrations from my dear old mother?
I mean, you know of them.
Yeah.
There are spells that can contact aberrations. There are spells that could, summon them. You definitely
What do I know about like the surrounding like planes of dread? Do they have aberrations about them?
Planes of dread.
Like, could this have just wandered in?
Nah, you would probably know. It is possible. However, highly unlikely unless beckoned by a certain someone. You don't enter Barovia very often by accident. It is very much intentional, the people that he brings here. But with that, you start to think like, okay, if it did come into Barovia, one, maybe it was by a traveler. Maybe that traveler was beckoned by Strahd, but if that traveler was beckoned by Strahd, why? Was it because of this? So now you're starting to think maybe Strahd was the one that had brought this thing in here. Or maybe he was the one that planted it here. Or maybe none of those things. Maybe it just somehow did end up getting into Barovia. But as you start to come up with these different ideas, the door bursts open again, and you just see Elvir. And behind him, you see giant red flames, along with the sounds of screams.
That was not me.
As he rushes in and says, he's here. He's here, and he's burning the entire place down. We need to go.
Who's here?
Katya runs past him out the door.
You rush outside.
I follow.
I catch Vaughn's arm.
Yeah.
Do you really want to meet your brother?
Not really. Do you want to meet him again?
No.
Okay. I'm going to give you a D3. So for the next 10 minutes, you can roll a D3 whenever making an attack roll or ability check and add that number to the D20 roll. I'm going to use my bolstering magic on you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks.
You'll need it, because as you rush out of the Swamp Speaker's disheveled home, you are blinded by this bright orange light. As your eyes finally start adjusting, you see the flames erupting across the elder tree. You see leaves from above and below, and the branches are all erupting in flame, and the trunk itself, you see groups of guards pushing a group of people that are trying to get on the elder lift to try and escape this entire fiery chaos. And as you look over towards that lift, you see this giant ball of fire erupt and explode as these people fall back, falling off of the branch, the elder lift ripping apart and falling down to the ground below. You see one, Beatrice. You recognize that spell to be Fireball.
Yeah.
And two, you see the source of that being Voltor, riding atop a deep midnight black horse with fiery eyes.
I knew it.
And
I'm
a
just
flaming
saying.
mane.
Yeah, we couldn't trust
Beatrice,
that
you
motherfucker.
recognize this horse.
Bocephalus.
This is Bocephalus indeed. Strahd's flying steed. Didn't mean to rhyme, but it happened. As you come to this realization, you see the shapes of Voltor changing to that familiar face of Strahd von Zarovich, and a laugh that echoes through the forest. I must admit, I am constantly surprised by your ability to ruin the plans that I have spent months enacting. This monster was supposed to be the end of a traitorous town, the end of a people that refused to leave their gods, understand that their gods are dead. They refused to accept it, and here we are. I'm not quite sure how you were able to defeat this monster so quickly, but to be honest, I don't quite care. Just know that these people were supposed to die without ever truly feeling the pain of losing the loved ones around them, and you took that away from them. Each and every one of you. You took my mercy away. And now you must face your consequences. And Beatrice, I was very surprised to see you with them. You watch as Bocephalus flies from below the web branch as Strahd begins to circle the trunk of the elder tree, flying around on this steed, slamming fireball after fireball after fireball into this ancient bark, setting it ablaze with each explosion of fiery death. And you now face the terrible decision of what you would like to do, as everything around you is burning. Quite possibly the end of Moonshade, and maybe the end of the Elder Tree, as you all grip with the idea of what to do. We're gonna go to break a little early today, but I feel like this is probably the most appropriate place to do that, because the next couple hours are gonna be fucking insane. So we will see you all in 15 minutes. Today we are going to be giving away a copy of the same thing last week, White Dragon Cavern. So if you would like to be involved in that, go ahead and put in the chat, I believe it is fire or something like that. It'll show up. So yeah, something like that. Yep. Giveaway started. We'll see you all in 15 minutes. It is I don't know. It's something. See y'all in 15 minutes.
Bye.
How dare you?
Bye.
Wish us luck. Welcome back, everyone. It is firing up over here. It is heating up.
All right.
We're getting sweaty over here.
I'll leave.
As we
must stop.
As we're here, taking in this fiery hellscape that was not on accident.
This cannot continue.
This fiery hellscape that I sleep to is now happening all around you, thanks to Sirenscape. Hashtag sponsored. All right, so as you all
if Sirenscape knew what you do here, Jonny, they would pull out.
Oh,
they wouldn't be a part
totally
of it.
would. Yeah, they would pull it. That's fine. I get it.
They'd be like, "How dare you?"
As you all see Strahd changing from the shape of Voltor and flying around on his nightmare Bocephalus, slamming fireball after fireball into the bark of this elder tree, setting it ablaze just like everything around you. You take in the environment, seeing people screaming and running, rushing to the elder lift, the one way to get off of Moonshade, at least that you know of, and that going completely exploding in fire. As that happens around you, what would you all like to do?
How far away is he? Sorry.
Strahd was about 350 to 500-ish feet away from you guys. He was out from the branch and kind of just right next to the, well, I guess he would have been at least 120 feet away from the elder lift. So, and you guys are about 250 feet away from that. So about 300, a little over 300 feet. And then he just flew off. So he's further away now, and he kind of just dove down below the web. So, with that,
Can I take a quick scope of the surroundings and look for any sort of like...
What's up? What's around?
Sure.
Just anything we can use to like put fires out or like mitigate fire damage.
One of the things that you do notice, the web is the swampy branch that actually does have a lot of water that is down the middle of this branch, almost like a swamp itself.
Okay.
You see a bunch of people that were once waiting for the elder lift now rushing towards this body of water, hoping that maybe that will save them from the fires. You see a bunch of them rushing into the water, and as they rush into the water, you spot the nightmare of Strahd coming directly up the branch, and as he does, he has his hands on the side of Bocephalus, and reaching down to the waters, you see all of the water beginning to move until it finally parts down the middle, following his hand as the water shoots out from the center and begins rolling off the sides of this branch. You can tell that he has some sort of control over the elements within his territory, and as he does that, he continues on his way, flying around the tree. So whatever water you had found is now pretty much gone.
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves every time.
What's the quickest way out of here?
Presumably the lift that exploded, or over the side.
Over the side, then.
What about the people?
You begin looking around, and you see there are kind of balls of vines that are surrounding the entire town. Something that you had seen before, but it was just more of like a... whatever the heck that is.
Mm-hmm.
But you see that the balls of vines are attached to a second vine that people are now rushing to and pulling. You see the vines are being released, and these very long vines are going as far down to the ground as they can. Seeing that this might be another way of escape. But it is surrounding the town. Even the ones above.
I'll be honest, every bone in my body wants to go over there and slice them up, but I know that would be a bad idea.
And at that, you begin to see Strahd bamfing into the material plane. It seems like he just vanishes back and forth. Every time he appears, one of the vines are cut, and you see people falling.
Fuck.
One after another, after another, after another.
When he's close enough, I Eldritch Blast him to stop him from doing it.
This is a tricky roll, because he is technically not hittable by an Eldritch Blast, but you can try as hard as you can. I will give you one of your rolls. We'll see.
All right, Eldritch Blast, don't fail me now. Oh, that's a 12.
Unfortunately, as the Eldritch Blast, you wait,
advantage.
Watching, waiting, and you see him appear, shooting your Eldritch Blast, and just before it makes contact.
Wait a second. I have a reroll.
Okay. Go for it. Let's see it.
the best time as any to do this. 18?
Better.
Still doesn't hit, unfortunately.
That douchebag.
Yeah. He is indeed a douchebag. As you see, getting out of the material plane while riding upon his horse. Beatrice, you would recognize this being very close to Strahd, knowing that he is bamfing in and out of the material plane, going to the ethereal plane and back.
Yep.
That is something that Bocephalus can do.
Correct. Can I try? Is he within 120 feet of us?
He is not. Yeah, he is just rushing around. The only reason why I was saying that Arxes is able to hit is because he has 300 range on his Eldritch Blast. So, like, outside of that, he's almost intentionally keeping out of your guys' range because he knows. I mean, he's not stupid. Though it seems like now, after the shot from Arxes, you can tell that he is definitely keeping out of range of even that now, making sure that he is far out of your range.
I will just, I'm just gonna yell at everyone. Save as many people as you can. I need to go find my mother. And Elvir.
Elvir was the one, yeah. So he's like with you.
Okay, go! And I'm just gonna go run towards where I think my mom's at.
He's rushing with you. So he'll as you're running away, maybe a distance away from everybody, he says, I can get away as easily as you can. I can turn into a bird. It is fine. I'm coming with you. And he's just rushing with you.
And then I just turn to him and say, I love you.
I love you too, but let's go!
Now's not the time.
This is not the time for that!
Yeah, so then I'm just gonna book it towards where my mom is.
Okay. You begin rushing that way. Is anybody following or doing your own thing?
Sorsha said, get everybody out, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. The first thing Arxes will do is cast Expeditious Retreat on himself.
Okay.
As a bonus action. And then as an action, I will cast Bless to the rest of the 3 people that are here.
Okay, cool. All right, Katya, Vaughn, and Beatrice are now blessed for the next minute for whatever you guys end up doing. Arxes, you are Expeditious Retreat.
Yeah, and he's just gonna try to, as fast as he can, just get people and move them and help them get to safety.
All I can think of to do, too. I'm just trying to expedite people's escapes.
Okay. As you're kind of rushing around, you do see that a lot of Moonshadians have these parachute-type, like, mechanisms with, like, giant leaves that they have harnessed from the elder tree. But you see that this is probably the most effective way that they have of escaping at the moment. And the reasoning is because Strahd is one person and these are many, so you do see people being cut down here and there. You know, their parachutes are cut or they themselves are cut. But there are droves of people making their way down. It is impossible for Strahd to get every single one of them. You see Sorsha, as you're rushing towards the web branch towards Nature's Nook, you begin to feel this giant wave of air hit you. And all of you hear this giant screeching sound as you see from above this gargantuan bird flapping its wings, trying to hit some of these these patches of fire with its wind of its wings, and it begins using the gusts of air to hopefully stop these fires. But as you see this bird coming down and putting out large areas of this fire, another large fireball slams into this bird, and another ear-piercing scream fills your ears as you see Strahd coming in on Bocephalus and cutting into the stomach of this bird, creating a very deep cut. This bird decides it's not worth it and begins flying away, giving out one final blood-curdling screech, as even that doesn't seem to be working. But Arxes, you are able to rush around, as well as Beatrice. And
I'm not rushing around. I'm catatonic.
Okay. Vaughn?
I'm picking up Beatrice.
Right.
And I'm
Katya.
gonna get us out of here.
Katya and Arxes, you begin rushing around. Is there anything specific that you're trying to do with the people?
Just trying to help them off.
Okay.
If I see they have a parachute, if I see they're about to be like, if I see anyone about to be like cut down before they jump off, I try to help them as best as I can.
Okay.
But yeah, just mainly I'm just trying to get people to safety, whatever safety may be.
Okay. You begin seeing carts of parachutes being pulled out from areas that were previously hidden. People are coming in droves, picking pack after pack of these, until you see blasts of fire shooting into them.
I start trying to push off of Vaughn.
Okay.
What? No.
If I can talk to him, if I can get him to stop, I could get him. These are citizens. He wouldn't need if they would just worship. If they bend a knee, he would stop. He would see them as valuable.
You want to talk to him?
It's what I can do. I know him.
Then let's get closer.
Okay.
I
You
can
attempt
move
to get
faster than
closer.
Beatrice.
True.
Yeah, I want to go out onto one of the branches.
Okay. What do you say?
If we get it within range for message, I'll cast it via the message spell to him. But I don't know. Message is a range of 120 feet. This seems a little bit more decorous than yelling into the ether.
He's keeping away from you, so I would say that probably not 120 feet.
Sure.
I mean, after Arxes, he's definitely keeping over 300 feet away from any of you. While you think of that,
yeah,
let's switch over to Sorsha. Sorsha, you and Elvir are rushing down the web branch as you see people rushing back and forth, trying to figure out what the hell they're doing and what the hell is going on in the first place. You see people going on zip lines to different trees as another escape route, but yet those are being cut down, people falling to their deaths. You finally make it to the Nature's Nook, where you see your mother is shocked to the point of she's just frozen. She doesn't know exactly what to do. The person that she had been living with is dead. She's standing just outside of Nature's Nook, looking at the fiery remains of what it used to be, the farm itself gone, ashes, and just next to her, the body of the deceased farmer that lived here with her.
Yeah, there was no name.
He has a name. I think it's Martin.
Freddie.
Don't ask me.
Or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'll have to look it
Don't
up.
ask me.
No, you don't know. I don't think.
No. Well,
Mikhail.
I'm
That's
just
what
gonna-
it is.
Mikhail.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just come to you in front of my mom and just have my hands on both sides of her face and Mother, we got to go. We have to go. Strahd is here.
Like you snapped her out of it. Oh my God, what is going on?
Strahd is here.
Okay. Okay. Where do we go?
We need to go down. He's hitting everything with fireballs and he's killing everyone. We need to get everyone down and we need to get down too.
Okay. How do we do that?
I don't know.
Okay. She begins looking over towards one of the zip lines that everybody's using, and she just kind of looks over. We can go there, and begins rushing towards that side.
Good. And I'll follow her and wait until she is down.
Okay.
Yeah. And then try and usher as many people that way as possible as well.
Okay. As she gets there, this giant group of people coming down, you see she's like 20th in line at this point. You see the line beginning to cut as Strahd comes by and cuts it.
Does he get within 30 feet?
He's not getting anywhere near any of you while he's doing this. So that escape route is now closed.
Fuck. I don't like this. I'll just grab her hand and then start yelling for people to follow this way and like head back towards the group.
Okay. Everybody begins following you. It seems like they have heard of what you have been doing and are following you to wherever you're leading. You begin rushing towards the center of the town, the web branch, the large platform there, and you begin finding the other party members that are seemingly helping people, bringing them here and there, trying to help them escape this fire. But you stand here, the ground beneath you, thousands of feet below. How are you all getting down?
Well, I'm not with them, right?
Right, duh. Beatrice,
we're not,
attempting to talk to Strahd.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I call out. I take like a moment and I like pause. I bring back this poise, this like suavite, and I glance at Vaughn. Just like give a nod of confidence, and I stride confidently forward as much as I can. And I say, calling out with my hands just sort of like lazily crossed on the cane in front of me. Lord Von Zarovich, have you finished your demonstration, and are you ready to actually negotiate terms that will garner you more than a burnt hole in the ground?
Do a intimidate. No, it's not. Persuasion.
Persuasion? Yeah.
I prefer intimidation.
You get a D3.
But for this,
You're also blessed still, maybe?
It doesn't help on ability checks, I don't think.
Oh,
yeah, it does. I think so.
I thought it was just attack rolls and saves.
I'll take a look, but yes, go ahead and do your roll. I thought it was all three.
Persuasion?
You might be right. Attack roll or saving throw. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
You still get a
persuasion?
D3.
Yes, persuasion.
Okay. 15
D3.
plus flash. My fingers are trembling, so it's going to take me a second
Sure. Understandable.
to type it out. +1 plus flash of genius for a bonus of +5. 21.
20, from a 15 to a
pretty good.
21.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe in you.
You see the fire continuing to consume Moonshade. You look back from the edge of this branch to see the carnage that has already transpired. People burned down. Houses burned, falling down to even their deaths. And yet you find flying a good distance away Strahd von Zarovich, seated with his head and chin held high, and looks to you. Are these terms of surrender then?
Well, I guess I don't exactly see them coming back from this, do you?
That was the point.
Did you expect anything less? You don't toy with me, Lord von Zarovich. You came here for slaughter. Don't act like you thought there was ever going to be a chance of a draw.
No, of course not. But I am interested to hear what you have to say. It is not very common that someone leaves my home and works with the enemy.
Are you surprised that people other than yourself can make decisions to better their stations? You made your choice, and I just decided it was my time to move on. You made it very clear I did not have a place at your side anymore. I thought I might look at some of the competition.
You always had a place at my side, Beatrice. It is unfortunate what my wives did to you. I have to be honest. I was deeply saddened when I saw that you had left. I do not think I will ever find someone as good as you.
On that we can agree, Lord von Zarovich. And I'm sad to say I might have to report the same. I didn't want to leave, you know that.
Fine. Then return with me, and the carnage can stop.
What about your betrothed?
Oh. He doesn't mind.
I mind.
Well then, is there anything else to say?
I feel like we could fill books. Perhaps we should take up a letter writing campaign. Pen pals?
You've made your choice, and I have made mine. Goodbye, Beatrice.
I'm sorry,
You
Lord
see
von
him
Zarovich.
Turn into mist as he turns back into the ethereal plane.
What a fool.
I'm sorry.
So,
I was hoping to buy people some time by talking
there was
about
definitely
that.
some time bought. There was definitely some time bought. That very big roll, you just had him spend like 2 minutes. That is serious time when it comes to people parachuting down to the ground. You definitely saved a lot of lives.
Good point.
Let's find the others. I don't know if I'm going to be much more help here.
So, you return back to the center where you find, after Sorsha is now returning with her mother and Elvir just behind. What do you all do? You have a group of people following behind Sorsha as well.
How many people?
Let's roll for it.
Roll them up. Let's see what happens.
The 3 is not good enough. I'm going to re-roll that again.
What? Oh.
13 people sounds good.
13 people.
Okay.
Pardon. Yeah.
We can all jump and I can feather fall 3 times. It's not concentration.
Okay. And how many people can you...
5 per casting.
15.
So I
What
can
level
get
spell's a feather
Okay,
fall?
so...
15.
first.
So you
I
have...
can give you another first level spell. For
Wow,
certain.
okay. Oh, true, yeah, I guess
Then
we
I
would
could
just
cast
knock
it
that
4
off.
times.
So 4
Yeah.
times, that's 20 people. So it is Katya, Sorsha, Vaughn, Arxes, Beatrice, Elvir, and Sloane. So that is 7 plus 13. Oh, well, Elvir
Raven.
Elvir can fly.
Elvir could fly, but he wouldn't because he's trying to keep that under wraps. Especially in front of people.
That was not the time.
Yeah, it's not the time.
No one's gonna pay attention in this. in this place.
Right? I'm not forgetting anybody.
How many people is that in total, right?
No. That is exactly what you need. That is 20 people.
20, yeah.
Yeah, so you are able to save these 13 as well as the 7 of you.
It's like, just like old times, eh, friends? And we all, as I like, in the same way when we first met.
Mm-hmm. So, 5 after 5 after 5 after 5 jump until you finally all jump off of the web branch, descending down. You see, let's see, sec. You see a giant eagle flying down from the top more parts of this elder tree as you see it carrying people down. Most likely, Sorsha, you would imagine that this is probably the mountain speaker Sabrina that has wild shaped into a giant eagle and is now grabbing people and bringing them down. However,
I have no wild shape. I can't do it.
Oh no, don't however. No more however.
You all make your way down to the bottom of this tree. Safely. It doesn't seem like Strahd really wants to fuck with you specifically.
Oh no.
Scared.
But you do see from above the giant flames. I just imagine the Erd tree from Elden Ring, set of flames, and just this giant spectacle of bright orange light filling this forest. You see some trees catching fire nearby as well, almost creating a wildfire. But as you all stand there in the carnage, what would you all like to do? You all see people rushing as far away from this giant tree.
I would like to. It's not great timing. I'm gonna try and get into a meditative state to see if I can connect to the Fanes.
I would say in this situation, do a wisdom save to see if you can even do that.
Yeah.
You get a +5.
I do.
Arxes is right there.
21.
21.
You feel emboldened by Arxes. You begin shaking violently, trying to get into this meditative state, but hearing the flames and screams of people until you feel an arm from Arxes on your shoulder, and you feel calmed. Taking a deep breath, you finally enter this meditative state.
Avatar style.
Your eyes open and there's white light now.
The tattoos.
Yeah.
It's not so much a vision as just an overwhelming feeling of sorrow. You feel it emanating from the blood spear of Gavan, from the holy symbol of Ravenkind that is on your chest, which, by the way, this is the holy symbol of Ravenkind, just a little homebrewed. But you feel both of these artifacts in your hand just pulsing with this feeling of sorrow. But no real sense of instruction. It's just... what's the word? Despair. That's about it.
And I'll just talk into the void then, I guess. Just hoping to have someone here. Do something. Give us something. Your people are dying. You cannot abandon them now. This is what they need. They need hope. The time when it is nowhere to be found. Help them.
Nothing answers.
What the fuck am I doing being a champion then?
Question.
Yes.
When we came here, John was with us. I didn't dismiss him, so technically he still should be walking around somewhere.
Sure. I'm sure
can
he
I
could find
connect
you.
to him?
Yeah, you can connect to him for sure.
I'm gonna connect to him mentally, and I'm gonna tell him, get as many people as you can to safety. Do not stop.
You just hear this like out of breath voice, like already on it, and you can just tell that he's already bringing people to and from the tree. He's
my boy.
Oh yeah, he's on it. You guys are good. So, is there anything that you would like to do, or do we want to just fast forward a little?
As we run, I just at some point take a look back to try and keep an eye on where he is. It's sort of like keeping an eye until it's out of sight.
Yeah, I mean, you see the very dull flame of Bocephalus is the only indicator that you see just flying around, going in and out of the material plane as he flies around, slaughtering the people of Moonshade. So.
Vaughn would like to grab Beatrice's hand, but that's it.
Yeah. Did I sound like an absolute fool?
No, you sounded really cool and formal and awesome. He's a fool for not listening to you.
And then I continue running forward. What did you think of him?
Oh, I think he's a dick.
That's what I've been saying.
Continue running.
Short of it.
Vaughn, I think, definitely notices that, like, there's wetness on Beatrice's face. Of tears.
Yeah. You squeeze her hand.
You rush far enough away to where the flames are near the sound of a campfire, where you see a natural grouping of people just in disbelief. Every so often you see a giant eagle dropping people off and then returning back up to the tree. A few hours go by. Go ahead.
Anyone who looks to be hurt, I don't just 4 more times, so for 4 people I give them a hit point each, just
okay.
That's all I can do at the moment.
Yeah, I'll do the same with my 3.
You find people that are very visibly suffering from like burns and maybe even falls. Maybe they were at the edge of that vine just before it was cut, still breaking bones from the fall, but able to escape with their life. You're able to go around helping people, but there is a deep silence that cuts through each of you. People that do talk are in very hushed and whispered tones, until finally, after a couple hours, you see Mountain Speaker Sabrina dropping off what you assume to be the final people that she could find, and then landing and wild shaping back or changing back into her human form and just collapsing onto the ground and just weeping.
Beatrice goes off and opens the portable hole and just starts working on potions.
Okay.
Arxes just sits down next to a tree. Actually, I imagine he spends a lot of time before doing that, because I'm pretty sure he's still tired. But till he can't go any longer, he's gonna go around doing the best he can with what little medicine knowledge he has to try to help anyone who needs it.
Okay.
Kai's just kind of sitting on a trunk with like hands on her knees, head down, just real solemn.
Sorsha is just checking every single person that she can help as much as she can.
Sloan.
Vaughn is just checking their own wounds since they were dead a little bit ago.
Yeah. Big scar right down the middle of Vaughn's body. Giant scar all the way across. Sloan is following Sorsha, as well as Elvir. Elvir is more of a
Hold the gas.
support, than he is anything else. But he is helping with whatever you need.
Did Katrina make it? Or
do a perception check.
Katarina?
Katarina, yeah.
Katarina?
She can wild shape, so.
Yeah.
10. Among the people that are here, it's hard to tell whether she has or not.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure, but you don't see her.
Okay.
Beatrice. Within your mind, you hear the voice of Strahd. Well, I am done. This is my mercy. I see you. I see all of you there. And I will choose to spare you. But this is the last time.
Can I respond?
Mm-hmm.
So kind. It'd be nice if you opened the doors and let us all out. But if you insist, I'm very excited for your nuptials, so maybe we'll see you there.
You kind of instinctually look up, and you see a glowing firelight that is very much almost just above you. Not within range, just within sight. And you see it extinguish. So, where do we go from here? I almost think that this is a good spot to end, but it is fucking early.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Beatrice. I will leave it up to each of you to decide what you want to do with the rest of the time here. Otherwise, you can get a long rest and finally actually have that level up apply.
I go through the possessions in my portable hole after that conversation ends, having like made a decision about it. And I go and find a small item with like a talking face inscribed on it, and I activate it, and I cast sending to a contact of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, when is the wedding? I'm hoping I get an invite.
A small while goes by before you hear, I was beginning to think that this thing didn't work. A couple months. There's some trouble. He's not quite ready to go through with it yet. The abbot is here. Where are you? That's it. I think it's just one casting, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
After a long rest, you can do another one. But
Sure. I think when they say that he's not quite ready, I'm like, I get a little bit like, like I laugh a little bit. I find that very funny. I find that very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Rushing into a wedding without any sort of preparation made. Typical. Just continue going about my business making potions, but a little bit happier.
Of course. Anything that anybody would like to do?
Arxes will. Oh, I was gonna say Arxes will sit under a tree. Probably after a really long time helping people, and I feel like there's just like the aura that comes off from anyone that's close enough within that 10 feet. Anyone who walks by, they feel it, and while it's still protective, it's also kind of oppressive at the same time. And his like form that he goes into is very much still like on. And in his mind he goes, Kingmaker, I thought you were supposed to give me power to kill him. Why is he still so far out of reach?
You hear that same voice in your mind. With a bigger boom than usual. Almost anger behind it.
Do you doubt me?
Do you doubt me? Because that's what it feels like. All the power you claim to have, and yet here I am, sitting under a tree, tending my wounds like some commoner. I am king. This is what you told me. So why did he get away?
Biting the hand that feeds you. If you are so concerned with why he got away, look not to me, but to yourself. I give you these tools. You are the one that makes the decisions. You are the king. I am the supplier. It would do you well to understand our arrangement.
Supplier or not, kingmaker or peasant killer, whatever you are, next time, supply me with enough to kill him. And maybe I'll be happy to talk to you again.
I would be happy to.
And he falls asleep.
Vaughn
Mm-hmm.
would like to find somewhere to wash all of the blood off of them.
There's nearby creeks. And
Okay, yeah.
running water.
Will get all of my own blood off myself and all the gore left over from the false hydras. And then I'm just going to find Beatrice's portable hole.
It's not hidden. It's nearby.
I'm gonna awkwardly crouch on the ground next to it and knock on the dirt.
Yes.
Can I come in?
Yes, be careful. I have a couple things about, but...
All right. I'll step in and just very awkwardly stand there.
Did you need something?
Yes. Maybe. It's okay if no.
Is it that big? What do you want?
A hug?
Oh.
I think we both had relatively hard days, and maybe that's just me projecting onto you, but I think it would be beneficial potentially for me.
No, I think you are correct. That's an apt description of the day. I've never had a hug, so does it really help? I mean, does it help? I don't know.
I mean, there's only one way to figure it out. The hypothesis is that a hug will make you feel better. No, the only proper way forward is for experimentation.
Well, then I don't... Have you had a hug before? Do you know what to do?
Oh, Katya and Sorsha have hugged me several times.
That's true.
It has made me feel better, but it usually makes me feel sad because all the clothes...
Sorsha did sort of throw herself at me one time. Was that a hug?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, I don't know if that really made me feel much better.
Sometimes it can be a lot. It's still a relatively new thing. I think this group does that. At least Sorsha and Katya.
True. Well, maybe...
I'll get it from Sorsha.
So maybe we just try like a small one and see how it goes.
I'm not going to tackle you because I think, no offense, I'll kill you if I do that.
That's fair.
This is so good.
Great.
We'll still stand on opposite sides for a moment. I guess we have to get closer together.
I take a long step forward.
I sort of like extend my hands out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like around the waist, which is pretty much as high as I can reach because you're very tall.
Mm-hmm. I'm only 7'9".
Yeah.
Only.
I'll like lean down and...
Love this so much. Oh my God.
Does it make you feel better? I guess I'm just worried. Would it crush my hat?
I'm sorry. I don't. I will.
No, you didn't do it. I think it was.
I'll be shorter if that will help. Then I won't crush your hat.
I think it was a fine hug. I think it was a good experiment. I do feel. I think a little bit better.
Really?
Yes, I think so.
Start crying.
Oh, okay. I don't have. Please stop.
No, it's fine.
Please stop.
I push them back into my eyes. Nope, I'm very normal about this.
All right.
Thank you for being my friend.
Oh, God.
You're welcome.
And it's okay if you want to take it back. I know it was my dying wish, but I would understand 150% if you want to take it back.
It was very coercive.
I know. I'm so sorry. We don't have to. I'll retract the hug and I'll pick all the flowers up and I will promptly leave.
Vaughn, I think we've all seen that it is a waste of time to avoid the truth of the matter. We're friends, despite my best efforts. I warned you about it.
I don't understand what there is to warn me about. You're a very pleasant individual to be around.
We're not concerned at all about any of the things I said to Straw. None of that rubbed you the wrong way at all?
No? Was it supposed to? You were just trying to make him stop doing the things he was doing, yes?
Yes. Yes. I was very comfortable with an individual that everyone seems to be in agreement is the worst thing that's ever happened.
I can't say that for confidence that he is the worst thing that's ever happened. I did just watch him murder an entire town for not obeying him,
which is bad, right?
Yes.
Right.
From my understanding of morals, that is bad.
Kind of like that was a bad thing, correct?
Yes,
That was bad.
that was a bad move of him.
Correct.
Don't understand more.
We can agree that that's.
Don't tell Sorsha, but honestly, what did they expect? They're actively opposing the most powerful man in the entire realm. He's going to get mad about it.
I don't feel like they're, from my understanding, actively doing anything. They live in a tree and don't talk to anyone.
Right, but he hates that.
Will he kill me because I've never talked to him?
No, he'd kill you if you saw
Was
power.
related to him?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, lovely.
He might
He's
not
not a-
kill you for that, actually.
No, I mean, if he's
So I'm still checking off the list. I only have one check mark so far, and it's in bad and none in good thus far. Well, I actually have 2 check marks in bad because he hurt you.
true.
So he's
True,
got one more. He's got one more to go before I fully write him off as a horrible, not a human person.
He has excellent taste in decor and horse riding, and he's an excellent marksman. I'd say that. I mean, if we're being even about it.
Oh, I mean, he's a lovely fighter. I'll check that off on a good side.
I'm just saying,
do a very lovely job murdering hundreds of people today.
He's got lovely taste in nemesis.
yes.
Yep.
Well, I'm just saying I'm glad Arxes wasn't there to hear it. I don't think he would be quite as understanding as yourself.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. That is probably true.
I'm never going to be... He talked to me about you. He said I should be there for you, even if I wasn't really what I thought you might want. Because I think...
Arxes?
Yeah.
Oh.
This was a few days ago. He pointed out to me that just the presence of a figure of, I don't know, comfort, something is useful to a person, even if you might not be what I would consider a good, comforting person. And I certainly would not call myself very... I don't think I'm much of a step up from your previous role models or comforting figures.
You don't think you're much of a step up from Babala Saga?
I mean, I'm better looking, but
It's a pretty low bar.
that's on a good day.
All right. Do you bathe in the blood of goats?
Not recently.
Oh, well, I know you could probably get some goats. I think we left them all there.
True.
You have yet to put me in a cage for 7 years.
That's true. You know that. We'll put that on my list as good person.
See, on your list, I've already checked off a lot of good person things. I did check off one bad person when you made me cry a whole bunch. But for the most part, it's a resounding... At least in my book, you're a good person.
That is a dangerous thing to say to someone as manipulative as me.
You've yet to manipulate me unless you're doing so right now.
Well, I manipulated you when I heard your feelings at first. Yeah, I can fill out a couple things on your list. I am jealous, arrogant to a fault. I find lies very convenient and efficient form of communication. I tend to be fiercely independent to the detriment of those around me. I think other
You brought me back to life.
Well, that's true. Well, I guess maybe that's a good thing then.
Cracking the armor.
So, killing whole town bad. Bringing people back to life. Good.
Good spectrum right there.
We're all learning so much today.
Yeah.
But also, it's a
What
good
are
thing how
morals,
good of a
right?
fighter you are that you did kill a whole town. Not the fact that you did it, but that you were that
Admirable.
good. Yeah.
It's impressive. I'm just saying it's impressive.
If I may, why would you bring me back?
I did not like it when you were dead. I did not like the idea that you were going to have made me upset about it, and I didn't like the idea that I didn't get a say in the matter.
That's very kind of you to say.
I've never been very good with being altruistic. I fundamentally find the entire concept flawed.
I don't necessarily understand the word altruistic, but I presume it's a good thing that happens.
Yes, what I mean to say is I have never felt an instinct to keep someone alive before you if it didn't immediately serve my needs. So we're all in new territory today.
I haven't died before.
I don't think I've died before.
Don't do it. It wasn't fun. A bunch
No, I
of
don't
faces
plan.
talked to me. It wasn't fun.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated. I will be picking your brain on that later.
Oh, yes, I would. If you had any books, I would be very interested in trying to read them to see if I could figure out anything about this.
Sure, I mean, you're welcome to anything in my shop. As long as you don't break anything, I won't have to kill you.
I am, firstly, not that clumsy. Calm down. And secondly, I would.
Beatrice to calm down.
Chill, fam.
Beautiful.
And there was a secondly, but I then immediately forgot it.
Some voice. It's
Yes.
ADHD. That's what it is.
Yeah, it left.
No.
But thirdly, I suppose, because the second thing was the nothingness that floated away. Thirdly, I would like to hug you again, since you said a nice thing to me.
You insist.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
No. Now you're making it seem like I'm being manipulative. Come in.
Well, now you're making it seem like I'm being manipulative by implying that you are manipulating me.
Well, then we're at an impasse and we'll just have to hug to figure it out.
Yes.
And if we both feel better about it, then it was for both of us.
Exactly.
Never
Brilliant.
known.
So,
Brilliant research.
Vaughn and Beatrice hug. Whether that helps or not, we will find out next week. As long as there is nothing else to be said. Awesome. Katya?
I mean, we don't have to do another scene if you don't want to. If you want to end it.
No, let's do it.
Okay,
Another
I'm gonna,
scene.
I'm
We're
gonna
early
go
today.
find. I'm gonna go find Sorsha
Okay.
and sit down with her. I'm like, I don't know where she's at, but if is she still here?
Yeah, probably facing the burning woods or the smoke that's coming out.
Then I'll like come up and stand next to you and kind of like just like lean against you for a sec. How you doing?
What is the point of me being the champion of the Fanes if there's nothing that I can do to protect my people? I have been the force speaker for, 20 minutes? And our home is gone.
I really wish I had an answer for that. You're feeling just as
too.
helpless as I am. Feels like
There
there's
was-
nothing we can do.
There was nothing. It felt so powerless. And look, and just point to like all the people that are laying down on the ground or,
that they're hurt or crying or whispering to each other. This is all that's left for people who believed in the Fanes. There's multiple Fanes in one Strahd, and they could do nothing. What is the point of me being here? I feel so powerless.
I agree. I feel like there's nothing I could do, and I feel like every time we go somewhere or we try to help someone, he interjects and reminds us how small we really are. Just nothing I could do. But for now, get her out of the forest. And I grab her and kind of turn her around back toward the campfire. You're here for them now. You're here to help them along and help them rebuild and regain some semblance of their life while we go find a way to end this forever.
As you look around at the people that are there, injured and licking their wounds, you spot Katarina walking around helping people as well.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah. This means that I have to stay here. I have to create a new home for all of these people. And then we're gonna have to go back to the ashes to see what can be salvaged, but I don't know if there's gonna be a whole lot that can be done.
I had a feeling you were going to have to stay. I didn't think it would be like this, though. But
I give her a small smile and nudge her a little bit. You know me too well.
They're lucky to have you, and they'll be better for it. You will lead them into prosperity again.
Do you think I'll actually be able to do it?
Of course you will. No doubt in my mind.
I'm glad somebody has some faith in what I can do.
Well, just remember to tell yourself every morning, you can do it. You're worthy of the title.
I'm going to miss you.
I miss you too. But I'll see you again soon. Won't be too long.
You were my first friend. I mean, we don't count Elvir because, obviously we knew that we were going to get married. I knew that we were going to get married. I kind of told him. But you're my best friend. And this is my family, but I also need to take care of my people.
Well, just because we're going to be apart for a while doesn't make us any less friends.
And at that point in time, I will, Y's gonna come buzzing around.
Nice.
And I'll have her land in my hand. When I went to go search for my mother, you took very good care of Y. And I think she really liked you. If she'll have you and if you will have her, I'd like you to take her with you again. That way you don't forget about me.
Nothing on earth would ever make me forget about you, Sorsha. but I would be happy to take Wise. She's a very good companion. And
Immediately flies over to you and lands on your shoulder.
And I'll be honest, she's a glutton for danger. I know she would come along even if you didn't want to. Even if you didn't want her to.
She just loves the thrill. I know.
She's a real adrenaline junkie. I can't control her. But she'll be in good care. And we'll both see you again soon. Take care of this place. And take care of the people. And we will end things once and for all and make sure everyone is safe.
I will see you soon. Get some rest. We'll tell the others that I will be staying.
I'll say goodbye in the morning. And I give her a big hug.
Ah, she initiated the hug. She initiated the hug.
Katya was
You're
about to,
wearing
and then
off-
Sorsha was
you're rubbing
already
off on me.
there. Just like lightning speed. So, each of you in your own ways find sleep. Little shaky at first to try and find any sort of shut-eye, but in the end you are able to long rest, level up, and we will pick up in the morning for the next session. If it wasn't already clear, Devan will be leaving the campaign for a small while, similar to before. She will be having a break, but she will be joining us later. So just know that she will be back.
She will be missed. See you soon.
Love you guys.
Take care
Of
of
course, we
yourself.
love you too, and we so sad to see you leave the group, but we are so excited to have you back whenever that may be. But
Hopefully soonish.
yeah, hopefully we'll be waiting.
George is gonna build like a whole new city.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude, she's gonna fucking
Build two
set it up real
trees.
good.
Like the metropolis of Barovia.
Well,
Better than Moonshade.
Unfortunately, Sorsha's it's gonna be like gum and like mud sticking
And it's going to be
willow weeds
beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
covered in flowers. Yep.
wonderful.
Perez is mostly empty now. Just moving over there.
True, there's a
Good
lovely
spot.
swamp available.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Smells
free real estate.
fantastic. Too.
Squatters' rights.
Watch out for
Move your feet, lose your seat.
watch out for the dead people that come out at night, though.
Yeah, they'll
They're
get you.
doozy.
Just part
That's
of the
anywhere in
family.
Barovia.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Really
Also
narrowed
true,
it down for me. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for coming and supporting us for our stream. And if you're listening to the recording, thank you for supporting our stream, our stuff. Thanks for supporting us. To better support us, like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends. Sorry, I had to burp. Tell your friends. And give us a rating on Spotify if you haven't already. 5 stars because he's the best. And yeah, make sure to follow us on all our social media at TalkingXP. But of course, before we go to that, we have our stream, our weekly stream on Thursday that Ellen
Yeah,
hosts.
that's me. That's me. I'm hosting a map making stream every Thursday from about 4:30 to 7. I often have a guest on from our illustrious Ravenloft Misfit cast, and sometimes I'm just on there by myself, chit-chatting. It's just a nice way to hang out and make maps and talk D&D and creativity. I really want to go for the Bob Ross of like map making streams. That's really what I'm trying to get.
Some
So come
cheese
on
in
That's
by.
the vibe I got. I was
I
on
love
there
that.
last week. We actually made the layers of the False Hydra again as like reimagined with Dungeon Draft. They were great. If you haven't seen it yet, we have it on VOD. You can go back and watch it. It's great. If you enjoyed that type of stream, join us this Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know if we have a solidified guest for this week just yet, but we'll see. It'll be a surprise.
It's a surprise or it's just me.
Yeah. Either way, it's
Either way,
a
it'll
great
be
surprise.
Either way, it's a lovely way to spend a Thursday.
Yep. So, thank you all again for joining us. Make sure to level up, and we will see you all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.